brief recap of some of the key things we mentioned yesterday. Some of the traits I said are necessary to be able to sell to the rich. I said, number one, confidence. And confidence emanates from competence. And some of the things that breed confidence, words, imagination, action, talk about that. Number two, competence. You have to be competent in what you do. Understand the knowledge, product knowledge, industry knowledge, understand even the prospects industry as well. Number three, appearance, how you dress, because attention is currency. And one of the ways you can get a prospect's attention, an affluent prospect, high net worth individual to be precise, is how you dress, because that will give you the opportunity for a conversation to take place. Then number four, I said give a short speech of value. Let them know what you do for others and what you can do for them. A short speech of value, straight to the point. I have a video on how to craft the perfect sales speech. In that video, if you look through, you'll be able to watch and see how to craft the perfect sales speech as well. Then to my next point, which is number five. When you engage high net worth individuals, you want to get them to do business with you. Listen more, talk less, and be agreeable. You see, they have a lot of times when I've engaged HNIs, they have very short attention span. Not all of them, but for most of them, in my own experience. They have very short attention span. Now, because they have very short attention span, you want to structure your sales conversation in such a way that they will be the ones doing the talking. So don't meet a high net worth individual, affluent individual, and start trying to talk about yourself, your product, your services. You have to make sure that your introduction, which is the short pitch of value, just gives a brief summary and encapsulates exactly who you are and what you do. And that's why it's less of talk, it's more of doing. How you look, how you dress, how you smell. It's more of doing, so that you don't spend too much time trying to talk, because they need to do most of the talking. In a sales conversation, whoever is doing the talking is the one who is being led. Whoever is doing the talking is the one who is being led. Whoever is asking the questions is the one who is leading the conversation. And it's important that when you sell to high net worth individuals, you want to be the one leading the conversation. Because if the prospect is leading the conversation, what will happen is this. If the affluent individual, the high net worth individual are leading the conversation, they will take the conversation away from the sale. A question in selling is not the same thing as a question in English language. In English language, when we say a question means a request for an answer in English language. However, when we sell, a question is a tool that brings focus in a conversation. It's not a request for information. And that's why when you meet a high net worth individual, an HNI, and the person is asking you, okay, no problem, I've heard you. So how much is it? Don't be under pressure to give the price. Because a question doesn't necessarily mean there must be an answer in sales. If it's an exam and they ask you how much is it, of course you would write the answer, because it's in school, in English language, you would write the answer. But in sales, how much is it? Take charge of it, use it as an opportunity to take control of the conversation. Because when he's asking you how much is it, he's trying to take control of the conversation. But you want to take control back. And how do you do that? You reply his question with a question. How much is it? Oh, sir, that's the best part. And I'll get to that shortly. Hope you don't mind. I'd like to ask you a few questions to see how I can be of help to you. For most of our clients, these are the questions we normally ask them. Can I walk you through quickly, sir? Just 3 to 4 questions. So what have I done? I've taken charge of the conversation by converting his question to a question. So I've replied this question with a question. And for most cases, if not all cases, the prospect will end up saying, okay, no problem. Then that's fine. Then he wants to hear you out for your question. If he's insisting on the price, in the same way, you too insist on the fact that, oh, I have a process. We have a process. And we don't ask our clients these questions so that we can understand them better. Now, if you notice that I use the word for most of our clients, because there's what we call the bandwagon effect in sales. The moment you're engaging a prospect and you're telling them, oh, for most of our clients, this is what we normally do, this is what we normally ask, immediately it helps them realize that, hey, people are already doing it with this person. I don't want to be the odd one out. It's what we call social proof. For example, if you go to the ATM machine and want to withdraw some cash with your debit card, when you get there, if you notice that there were 5 machines, and on one machine, 7 people were queued there, unconsciously, you'll find yourself going to queue with those 7 people without even testing what happened on those machines. Or you want to download an app from the App Store, and you check out the app says 1 billion downloads. Wow, a lot of people have downloaded this app. It will condition you to want to download the app as well. So I want you to use these techniques. And one of the ways you can use this technique is by using the word, for most of our clients. Then if the client is even insisting so much again about the price, share a testimonial. Oh, sir, let me just give me a minute to tell you a story of one of our clients and how we moved him from, or how we got him to achieve, or how we helped him get his. So there are things that must be ready when you sell to high net worth individuals. You must have them prepared. Your questions must be pre-planned, ready to ask. The testimonials you need to share to be able to handle some form of resistance, be ready with these things so that you can be able to maximize the opportunities. Just to let you know, a testimonial is not a story of how you grew in your career. A testimonial is not about you. A testimonial is about the prospects or clients you served, where they were before you met them, and what happened after. A testimonial that doesn't have a before and an after is not a testimonial. And so, you don't have to go and manufacture testimonials. I see some salespeople coming up with stories to share to clients as testimonials, and that's dangerous. Because the root of selling, the foundation of selling is integrity. Everything you say should be true because you need to build that relationship on truth. Anybody that does business with you now is not even the greatest opportunity. The greatest opportunity is the repeat business, the new referrals and new opportunities they will give you. Because sometimes HNIs may not do all the business with you initially. They just want to test the waters and see how well they can trust you to be able to do a lot more business with you. So even if you don't have personal testimonials in your organization, people who sell, who have been there before you, ask from your colleagues. Let them tell you the kind of stories or success stories that they have. Note those things down, memorize them, and use them when you're about to engage clients. There are many things. When I sold to high net worth individuals, there were many things that I had to memorize because I felt like it was an exam. I felt like it was a presentation that was of which I was going to be judged on. And if I passed, the client would pay. If I failed, he would tell me, I'll get back to you. Let me think about it. So I needed to prepare and present myself in the best way possible. And that's what I'm telling you to do right now. Prepare. The preparation cannot be overemphasized. They say that those who sweat more in training bleed less in battle. Those who sweat more in training bleed less in battle. So over-prepare. One of the signs of excellent performance, or one of the fruits, one of the things that lead to excellent performance, when we talk about reflexes, when you see people in sports or in certain fields come up with reflex moves, and we're like, whoa, this guy is so good. And what a reflex move is a result of over preparation. So get the things you need to get ready. So, because when I say things like, confidence, competence, appearance, your short pitch of value, don't take it casually. Don't think, don't wait for one special thing to say that automatically he will just have to respond to you. It's not magic. It's not voodoo. It's not as if you say one line and the client will say, okay, yes, I'm following you now. There's a process. Everything must come together. Many moving parts must come together. And that's why I said your confidence, your body, you should to show your body language, your competence. When words come out of your mouth, how knowledgeable are you? Are you using the right vocabulary to communicate? Your appearance, how did you dress for this meeting? How did you introduce yourself, your short pitch of value? And now I'm telling you, listen more. Ask questions and listen more. And someone says, what should the first question be? Most times, the first question you need to ask should be an open-ended question. An open-ended question that will get him or her to start to speak and start to tell you about themselves. Now, you must position the question in such a way that he's convinced or he sees reasons why he should speak. And this is what you need to do. First of all, I said to you, don't just go and start asking the prospect questions. When you meet affluent individuals, ask them for permission to ask them questions. After you've gotten permission, go ahead to ask questions. Don't just start asking questions. It becomes an interrogation. If you ask a prospect more than 3 to 4 questions, 4 max, it becomes an interrogation. However, if you've asked 3 or 4 questions and you observe that this prospect or this high net worth individual, you don't yet have enough information upon which you can use to be able to sell to him or her, what do? You ask for permission to ask more questions. Don't just go ahead and be asking questions. So the first question should be an open-ended question. And how you can make it strong enough for him to respond to you is, first of all, open-ended questions are questions that you use to give a broad explanation. For example, if I ask you, how did you spend your day yesterday? Can you walk me through what you did yesterday? You can't tell me, I went out. You have to explain to me because it's an open-ended question. Closed-ended, on the other hand, are questions that you can answer with a single statement. What time is it? Where do you work? You can answer that at once. So for the open-ended question, the rule is the longer the question, the longer the answer will be. The shorter the question, the shorter the answer will be. So you want to ask the question in such a way that it's long and he feels, I'm compelled to give you a response. Just like we see newscasters on TV, maybe on CNN, all these platforms, you see somebody who is being interviewed. And while he's being interviewed, the interviewer is asking, okay, tell me about, she asks a long question and the person just has to respond. Now that I've said this to you, be more conscious of it. Next time you see a news anchor on TV interviewing someone, you notice that the questions they ask, especially at the beginning, are usually long questions. So to ask this long question, you want to build a story around maybe the economy, the kind of industry he's in right now, because you have knowledge now, right? The kind of industry he's in. You want to set up that kind of long question. Then based on that, I can give you an answer. Now, let me give you an example. Imagine if I met a client for the first time, instead of me asking, how is business? And I ask, oh, so I've looked at your industry. I've studied your industry for a while, and I've observed that there's been many phases of growth and transformation in your industry. And there was a time when everybody had to bring in a certain capital base, and your organization was one of the first organizations to meet up with that capital base. And I've seen the way a lot of new staff have come in. There are many transformations that I see happening within the organization. Can you please tell me 1 or 2 things that you know have worked for you at this time to help you sustain your business to this stage, please? What have I done? I've asked a long question, even though all I just want is for him to tell me about his business. And with that now, he starts to speak. Now, it's when he's speaking. Now, I said, listen more, talk less. When he's speaking, I want to make eye contact. I want to lean forward so that he can continue speaking. I want to take notes so that he knows that I'm listening to him. I'm not going to take notes on my tablet or my phone. I want to have a notepad and a pen. A proper pen, not big biro, a proper pen, right? If not, it doesn't have to be too expensive, but it has to look very decent. Then a proper leather-bound notepad, not a party notebook you got from a souvenir somewhere. Proper leather-bound. Then I'm taking notes. Then I am making sound. From time to time, if I need some clarification, I ask questions. Okay, so are you saying, just try and get some clarification on what he said? And I'm listening. Why am I encouraging him to speak? Because in psychology, they call it the Freudian slip. The Freudian slip means if you allow someone to talk long enough, what is in their hearts, their topmost desires will come out of their mouth. Because when you're listening to a high net worth individual, you're looking for their DNA. What's their DNA? You're looking for their desires. You're looking for their needs. You're looking for their aspirations. That's what you're looking for. So, because you see, these guys, they've left the level of food, shelter. They are not having concerns about food. They're not having concerns about clothing. They are having more concerns around maybe psychological, maybe friendship, love. Maybe they're trying to they're looking at greater accomplishments, fulfillment, prestige. So I'm looking for what are these guys' desires. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not just listening to text or to words. I'm looking for what are these guys' needs. What are his aspirations? Then when I find them, I want to stay there. I want to ask questions around his desires. I want to ask questions around his needs. I want to ask questions around his aspirations. Then, the moment I see enough information, the next thing I want to do, I want to find out what his decision-making process is like. Of course, before that, when you listen to your prospect, you may find areas you have common ground. You may look, because see, rapport is the strength of the sale. I remember talking to my mom. My mom is a very good salesperson. So I remember one day I was in her office and I sat with her and she said to me, that for her, what she believes, based on her experience in sales, because she has been top salesperson in her organization for a long time. She said based on her experience in sales, she has realized that the number one thing that has helped her, and she believes is the responsible for the success of the sale, is rapport. Because when rapport is there, it just seems that it just gets smooth. So rapport oils the wheels for the sales process to go smoothly. We're looking at the sales process for unlimited wealth, right? It's the oil that gets it to move smoothly. So while the prospect is talking, you're looking for needs, the DNA, desires, needs, aspirations, yes. But you also want to look out for areas of common interest, similar interests, similar beliefs, similar background, similar interest. As I'm listening, I'm trying to spot what does he like that I probably like. Not what do I like that he likes. It starts with the prospect. What does he like that I currently like? And you're trying to find out. Is it that he likes music? Is it that he likes food? Is it that he likes to travel? What do we have in common with regards to beliefs? Not religious beliefs now, but maybe values. I remember speaking to an affluent individual, and in this meeting, I don't know how we got to this point, but he said something like, I believe that if a salesperson doesn't do well in 3 months, he will not do well in 6 months. He will not even do well ever. Because 3 months is enough time to master the product, get into the system, and win. I said, yes, sir, I agree with you. And that's what I've been telling people everywhere I go, because 3 months is enough. Although I've changed my mind right now, I like to stretch it to 6 months. But then, when I said that, in fact, he was over the moon with me. It was as though he had been telling people, but nobody had agreed with him. He finally found somebody who has agreed with him. And that's why I said, be agreeable. So, similar interests, similar beliefs, what are the values that he holds? Listening for them. See, what you look for, you will find. If you don't listen with intention to find the desires, the needs, and aspirations, you don't listen with intention to look at similar interests, similar beliefs, or similar background, you will not find it. When we say similar background, we're saying, okay, what state is he from? Are you from the same state? What language does he speak? Do you speak the same language? What's his family size? Do you have the same family size? What are the things you both have in common that you can make reference to? And when you find those things, you let him know that, oh, sir, I also have 3 kids. Oh, sir, I also went to this school. So that way, there will be a rapport. And it will help you when it's time for you to qualify the prospects. Now, don't be under extreme pressure. See, you're mastering this concept. I'm not now telling you that if you don't build rapport, you will not be able to close. But if you don't ask questions, you will not be able to close. So the questions are so critical. However, rapport will oil the wheels. It doesn't mean the wheels will not move without it, but it will oil it. And that's why, even if you can't build it at the beginning, maybe at some point in the conversation as you're going on, you want to make sure that you build rapport. So when you find this similar interest, similar beliefs, and similar backgrounds, it can help you qualify effectively. Now you want to qualify to find out if he has the resources available now to do business. See, somebody can have money, but if all his money can be tied down, he can't even be able to get anything liquid to give you. So just find out how liquid he is, if he has the resources to be able to do business with you now. You want to also find out the decision-making process. The acronym I like is FOOD: financial capacity, urgency, decision-making. You want to find out his financial status. You want to find out how urgent or how strong his desire is to move to a new level based on how you listen to him. You also want to find out his decision-making process. How does he make decisions? Does he run through his family, his spouse, or his lawyers? You want to find out how he makes his decisions. Because with that, it will be easier for you to go on to the next level. Now, just so you know, if while engaging him, you realize that he's not there are other people that he needs to make decisions with, reschedule the meeting. But Yuri, it took me a long time to schedule this meeting. Now that I'm here, shouldn't I just tell him everything? No. If you tell him everything, you will be setting yourself up to do work for somebody else. How? This means that he will think he has gotten all your information, And he will say to himself, don't worry, I'll talk to my spouse or my lawyer or my doctor. When he gets there and he wants to repeat the information he shared with him, he may not be able to give the information with the highest level of accuracy. And with that, you could lose the business because of that. And this takes me to my next point. Number 6, be clear on the product benefits. Be clear. Talk about the benefits in a very clear way. See, anything that you can't explain to somebody with few words, you don't really understand. The proof of understanding is simplicity of communication. So make communication very easy. Let him understand what exactly you do, what exactly you're offering. What are the benefits to him? Don't give him all the features and benefits. It's not necessary. Only focus on the ones that address the areas you have found now. And that's why when you're taking notes, you want to check what are the benefits to him. See, products are fixed, but benefits are unlimited. They're not fixed. The features are fixed in terms of, oh, these are the 5 things or 10 things about this particular project or property or insurance scheme or IT solution. But the benefits is to the limit of your imagination or your creativity. How can these benefits be tied to help this person achieve his DNA, desires, needs, or aspirations? And that's why taking notes of these things while you're engaging the client or the prospect is very, very important. So be clear. Mention the benefits and try to talk about your benefits in a systematic order. That's what we call the systematic communication of value. When you're engaging affluent individuals, arrange the value points. These are the core 5 things we offer. Or these are the areas where our solutions will be of need to him. Arrange them. Your strongest points will be your last points. It's very powerful. See, if you go to the ATM and you put your PIN, and your PIN is 0738. If you put 0387, will it go through? No. For your debit card, you have to follow the sequence. If the passcode is 0738, even if all the 4 numbers 0, 7, 3, and 8 are in that code and they are rearranged, it's not going to work. They must be put in the proper sequence. In the same way, too, there's what we call mental syntax. Mental syntax means when the brain is receiving information, it will receive information in the right order. A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It must get it in the right order. Don't rearrange it in the wrong order. So to arrange it in the right order, I'm telling you, make sure that your strongest point you want to communicate to him, based on what you've heard about him, his needs, desires, and aspirations, the strongest point should be your last point. The next point before that, which is not the strongest point, but the second strongest, should be your third point. Then the next point before that should be your first point. That's how it should be arranged. 1, 3, 5. Your first point strong, third point stronger, fifth point strongest. Then in between 2 and 4, you can put in any points there. So that you start with the bang, you go with another point. The third point is also a bang, you go with another point. Then the fifth point, strongest point. Then after that, you go straight to the 7th point, you close. Once you mention the price, the next thing, when selling to affluent individuals, you go to the closing questions. What are closing questions? Questions you ask as though the client has said yes. He doesn't have to say yes. If you wait for him to say yes, it will be too late. Once you mention the price, all right, sir, what name would you want on the offer letter? Okay, sir, what name would you like on the form? Straight to the closing questions. Then please don't give discounts. Don't give payment plans. When you're selling to affluent individuals, a discount is not a value proposition, so don't bring it forward. When you're selling to affluent individuals, payment plans are not a value proposition. Don't bring it forward. What are you supposed to do? If you notice that you have attempted to close, but there's some level of resistance, then you're not going to objection handling. Because at this point, you have established credibility, you have communicated the value, you have seen person's desires, needs, and aspirations, then you handle the objections. And one of the things you can find out is because treat the objection like a question. And one of the questions you can ask is, sir, is this your only concern? Is this the only concern? If I address this concern right now, are we ready to go ahead? And please note that this is if the person you're speaking with is the final decision maker. If not, you should reschedule for another meeting with the other decision makers. All right, thank you so much for listening today. If you have any questions, please chat in the comment section. Remember to share this video with others so that they can also watch this concept and be able to take massive action. Yesterday was my daughter's birthday. I wanted to tell you to wish her a happy birthday, but you can still do that today. So I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, as tomorrow will be the 25th and we'll be celebrating Christmas tomorrow. But I'll be here tomorrow to talk to you again, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Please do enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.